Hello dear viewers, welcome to this video. In this video we will see how to build a flexible model with multiple scenarios. If you remember in our previous discussion we have already created the uh, scenarios here uh, using a data validation switch box. In this box we have three scenarios: uh, best case, base case, and worst case scenario. So we have done this thing. I think those of you who have been following this video tutorial, you have seen how we have done. We can do this. We can do this thing again. How to create this switch box for scenario analysis. You click on the proper cell where you want to put your switch box, and then you go to data, and then from data uh, you go to data tools, and under data tool tab you have here data validation. So under data validation you click on, and it gives you here option to select, and then you go for list, and then you show the source from where you want to validate the data. So in my case the source is here, the three rows here, the three cases here. So after that, after selecting the source, you just click OK, and then you see these three scenarios here. So this is what we have actually done in our previous video. Now what I'm going to do in this video is that what we are going to do in this video is that we will be, we will create selected case from these three scenarios. When we switch here to best case or to base case or worst case, it should show us the one we selected from these three options, from these three cases here under in the selected case row. So to show this selected case from these three options, we have three functions, three uh, combinations of functions. We can use offset, either offset and match combination, or choose and match combination, or VLOOKUP and columns combination. Among these, I found VLOOKUP and columns combination as the simplest one. So today I'm going to show you this one. When we have time, after we finish this modeling, we can see how the choose and match function works. But all of them serve the same purpose and we get the same result. So let's see this, the simplest one. So I click on the selected case here in this row. So I want to show the dynamism in this row. So I go for equal sign VLOOKUP. Here you have, and then the lookup value that I want to show in this column is the lookup value is here. It's here because as I showed you here in this box we have three cases: best case, base case, and the worst case. So I want to fix this lookup value. I don't want this value to move when I copy paste to the right and to down to other uh, cells. So we now have already fixed this lookup value, and the next one comes here, which is the fixing the array, the table array. Here is from these two, this in this range. So we fix this table array columns. We don't want these columns to move when we copy paste, but rows can move because we are going to copy down to other Cogs as percentage of revenue, OPEX as percentage of revenue. We also calculate selected cases for these two cases, for these two for Cogs and OPEX. So that's why I leave the rows flexible here. by fixing only column references. All right. Now what comes here is according to the VLOOKUP function, the next one is column index, where I want to see the value. So if you count this column, uh, this up to this column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this will be eight column. So the column index number will be 8. But this counting columns is not efficient. It's not efficient for you to work on. And when you copy paste this formula to the right, you have to keep changing this column and index number. So in this case, it is 8. When you copy paste the formula to the right, to J column, to this J column, you have to change it to 9. If you change it to K, you have to change it to 10. So instead of doing that, we can use columns. That's where I put here VLOOKUP and columns. So if I type columns, the function will come, and then I show them the array. The array is from this. It starts from this V column to I column. So I fix only in this case the beginning column, here. Why am I not fixing this column? Because I will be first copy pasting this formula to the right. So I want this column to move from this column to this and from this to this. So I don't need to fix the column reference here. Yes, I think this is clear. And then what comes next is we look for exact match. So I close the bracket, it's done. So you see here one, why this one is coming here, cancel. Why this one is coming here? Because it is in the worst case here. If I change from worst case to base case, or we call it management case, it changes to 2, because the base case here is 2%. So when I change to base case here under scenarios, it comes, or it shows the base case scenario we have from these options here, 2%. And if I change it to the best case, here in the scenario switch box, it shows here 3%, which is indicated at the best case. So that's how we apply VLOOKUP and columns function in combination. So I can simply copy paste this one to the right. You see 3%. I can copy paste to the old columns here. It's 3%. So if I change the switch box, the scenarios in the switch box, for example, to base case, it changes here 2%, because it's the same thing that works for all the columns here. See? So yes, I can again copy paste this formula to other cases for selected case of Cogs. I can bring this formula directly here, and let's see if it works. I bring only formula, and it shows here 47. Is 47 best case or base case or worst case? It is worst case here. So what is the scenario I selected here? It's worst case here. So it's working. The point here is that we fixed the lookup value, this one, which is C3, it's fixed. Even if I paste it down here, the lookup value, this is not changed. It's because it's already fixed. In the same way, the lookup array, which is from B28 to M30, the columns are fixed. The columns cannot move from B to A, and also it cannot go away from M. I mean, the range is from B to M. But rows can move from 28 to 30. In our case, uh, rows can move from 28, row number 28, to 30. Where is 28 here? 28 is this one. This is 30. So it can move from 28 to 30. When I copy paste down to here, it can move from 34 to 36. So let's copy paste this down again to OPEX. Here, select the case for OPEX. First, special formulas, and then let's do it for all. So you see the worst case, OPEX as percentage of revenue in the worst case is 41%. You see here. If I change here to best case, you see revenue change to 3%, which is the maximum one. Cogs change it to 45%, which is the minimum one and preferable. And OPEX to 35%, which is the best one. So yeah, in this way, we can build a dynamic and flexible scenarios by using VLOOKUP and Kalman's function in combination. I think this is very clear. As I explained to you, you see here the Kalman's simply move from it starts from B, which is this one, and then it goes to I36. I36 is in this case this one. I mean this one, 41%. But when I move to here, you see it goes to J36. J36 is this one. This one. You see J36. If I move one column further, you see here the starting column is not changed, but the column here is changed to K K36. K36. I mean, it shows the column range. So when I copy paste the formula to the right, columns are increasing or changing. That's why we needed to leave it flexible when we copy paste to the right. I think this explanation is clear. If you have any question, you can write on the comment section. Now, by using these selected cases for revenue percentage growth, for COGS as percentage of revenue, and OPEX as percentage of revenue, let's calculate the projected revenue, COGS, and operating expense. These are just percentage which are hypothesized or forecasted. Now let's calculate the amount, the forecasted amount. So in short, I click on equal sign, and then I calculate the forecasted revenue for 2022 by using the revenue in 2021, which is the historical one. I multiply it in the bracket 1 plus the gross rate. The gross rate. The gross rate is here, the selected one. So I close the bracket. I close the bracket. I think this is very clear. To calculate the forecasted revenue for 2022, I used the revenue in 2021, and then in the bracket 1 plus the gross rate. The gross rate here is 3%. Yes, and then hit enter. So this is the forecasted revenue for 2021. I can simply drag this to the right, to all the years here, and it is not working. You know why? It's because if you click here, it takes J20. I mean F6, which F6 is this one. It's taking this 2%. So whenever we copy paste to the right, we have to be sure, or we have to make sure whether we are in the right position to copy paste it to the other elements. So we cannot use this percentage to calculate the revenue in 2023. We use the revenue in 2022 and we multiply it by the expected growth rate, which is 3%. So I remove all these here. What I do is equal sign. In the same way, I use this revenue from 2022 and then I multiply it. I open the bracket, 1 plus the growth rate here is 3%. I think it's not clear. It's clear now. Now I can copy paste this formula to the right, because if I copy paste it to the right, it takes values for 2024 it takes 2023, and for 2025 it will take 2024, and for 2026 revenue it will take 2025 revenue, and then calculates the growth uh, accordingly. You see, so let's click here. You see it took J6 J6, which is this one from 2023. This is for 2024, and then it multiplied in the bracket 1 plus K20. K20 is here, this growth rate, the selected growth rate. You can click here and check. It took the revenue, the projected revenue for 2024, which is K6, and then in the bracket 1 plus L20. L20 here is 3%. So now this is the right formula for us to copy paste. Okay, now let's calculate Cogs, which is cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is equal to, we simply multiply revenue by expected Cogs growth as of percentage. So we have revenue here times how much will be Cogs as percentage of revenue. It will be 45. So I just click it. You see, it multiplies this revenue by expected Cogs growth, which I selected here, which is 45%. So we can simply copy paste this one to the right, but we have to make sure that this value is negative, because we put negative values under bracket here. This is a format you can put with a negative sign, or with negative sign, or within the bracket. So it's up to you totally. You have options to change here, or you can go for a format cell and then do the necessary adjustment from these options. You can either put it in the red color, or a red color and a bracket, or simply under bracket with or negative sign. So yeah, now we have simply calculated the Cogs, and the formula is very simple. We have a revenue here, and we have expected Cogs growth as percentage of revenue, so which is 45%, and then we simply copy paste to the right. When we copy paste it to the right, you see here it took the value from J6. J6 is this one, and then it took from J26. J26 is this one. You see, this is 26, it's this one. So in the same way, it keeps moving when we copy paste to the right. All right, so what is left? We are left with OPEX as percentage of revenue. So here comes of OPEX, equal sign. We use still a revenue multiplied by expected OPEX as of revenue. OPEX growth as of revenue, which is 35% in this case. So enter, and then don't forget to make this one also negative. So here we go. That's how we do. If you click here, you can see the formula. It's from J6. J6 is this one, as I said. This is 60. J column, it is this one. It took the revenue, and then it multiplied with J set 2. J column, you go down to set 2, which is this one. You see set 5%. So it's right. In the same way, you can check it like that. Making double check is always good. So we have already calculated revenue growth for the coming 5 years, Cogs growth for the coming 5 years, and operating expense for the coming 5 years. This is in the best case scenario. So for us to see the other scenarios, like best case scenarios, when we switch here, it switches here. You see, it dynamically changes the expected or the predicted amounts. You see, it also changed here. For example, this is what base case. Here it's base case 2%. It shows you the selected case is 2% because we selected here the base case. And the base case is 2% in this case. In the same way, for Cogs, the base case is 46%. And you see here 46%. And I can change it to the worst case. In the worst case, revenue will be like this for the coming 5 years, and the growth will be 1% only. COGS will increase and will grow by 47%, and OPEX will grow by 41% in the worst case. In the worst case, so whatever you change here changes the selected case here, plus changes the forecasted amount of all the figures you see here: revenue, COGS, operating expense. In the next video, we will in the upcoming videos we will see D&A, depreciation and amortization, interest expense, taxes. We will calculate them separately. For the time being, this is enough. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, you can write on the comment section. Bye bye for now.